It's Storytime Tea. That's me, and today I'm here to tell you a story about how I was little and getting into things I wasn't supposed to. Okay, so basically, give some background knowledge on me, right? When I was little, I told y'all I was not social like that. Like, I didn't start being social until I had to be social, which was something that happened at like the end of like third grade or whatever, or the start of third grade, whatever. So this story is from second grade. It was like the end of the year, second grade. Yes, I remember vividly because like I remember everything for real. Anything that happened to me as a child, I remember for real. So it goes all the way back to then. But yeah, I was very antisocial. I had my two little friends. It was Brianna and Taquan Garrison. Why do I remember this man's whole name? Don't know. But that's who it was, right? And so it was just the three of us. We was like the three musketeers. They was the only people that I would ever talk to. Only people I share my stuff with. Like, we'd be cooling, doing that little band stuff. We'd be in math class together. Like, we was always together, all of us. And so it was like one day, I think Taquan didn't come to school or something like that. And it was like closer to the end of the year, so it was just like they kind of had us doing random stuff, and then also like teachers were just like disappearing at points in time, and we were like unattended. We weren't attended at all. Like it was like sometimes we'd be in a class and it'd be like 20 of us just cooling, and there's no teacher in there. I don't know, y'all. My elementary school was wild sometimes. So we in the class, I think we were separating because some people had to do certain stuff and other people didn't. And so like one half of the class or something like left. So it's only like 10 kids in the class. And it's me and this little guy that I don't like. Never liked him because he always was trying to be seen. Go sit down. I'm just like, is your parents not giving you enough attention at home or something? Like, what's going on? Like, that's what my head was when I was little. Stuff like that used to make me mad. And so he was there and I didn't like him. He knew I didn't like him. But usually Taquan would like kind of like be the middleman. He'd be like, yo, chill, stuff like that. Like, we was very little, so it was like none of our conversations was that deep because we was little. But like, yeah, he would kind of de-escalate things or whatever, but he wasn't there. And the girl Brianna was like non-confrontational for real. Like, she ain't really like to say nothing for real. So it would usually be me and Taquan taking up for her, or like our little group or whatever, and just making sure everything be cool. But I didn't talk to people like that, and I low-key had anger issues when I was little. So it was just like, he was pressing me that day. And Brianna had went to the bathroom or something, and I was just by myself. And he just came over to me, and he like just took something of mine. Like, either it was a marker or it was like some crayons. Like, really very petty thing. It was a very petty thing that he took. But I felt like he was doing it to be smart, right? And so he took my crayons, bro. And then I was a cool kid. So I had like the big pack. I didn't have no like 24 pack or nothing like that. I don't know what the biggest pack is. Is it 64 or something? 68? I don't know. Whatever the biggest pack of crayons was, that's what I had. Or whatever the biggest pack of markers was, that's what the fuck I had, bro. And so he gonna take like 3 little markers or 3 little out of my thing. I'm like, bruh, give me my stuff back. And he was like, no. And I'm like, don't make me get out of this chair. Because, bruh, I used to threaten people nonstop. I did not care. And they used to listen too. They used to listen. But on this day he did not listen, bruh. He did not listen. And so I'm just like, do I gotta get out of my seat? And he's just like, come and get me. Mind you, there is no teacher in here. All it is 8 other students sitting at various little spots in the class. And so I get up and he start running. Like, he's full sprint around the class. The class is kind of big, bro. Like, the class is big. It's like almost like like, it's like half of a cafeteria for real. Like, I was in a big classroom, or maybe I was little and I just felt like it was big. But yeah, like, the class is big. And so he's running around, and I don't want to chase after him, bro. I don't want to chase after him. And I chase him a little bit, and then he throw a chair in front of me. I hit my shin, right? And at that point, he triggered me. At that point, it was on. That was an attack on me, and I had to end his life. So I picked up a whole desk. I picked up a whole desk. Me, second grade, picked up a whole desk and threw it right at his head. Bruh, I knocked that boy out. Bruh, I threw that desk and he flew to the wall. And I was just like, I could have threw a chair. It's supposed to be equal or lesser force. I could have threw a chair. I didn't need to throw that desk. But it was already done. It was already done. I already did it. I was just like, my rationalization, I'm just like, bro, you should have took my markers and I told you to give it back and you didn't. You stole from me technically and then you assaulted me. You stole and then you assaulted me, so like attempted murder is like, you know. So like I was just trying to make it make sense for real. I knew I was wrong, but I was just like, bruh, the fact that you really try to play with me, you get what you deserve. And so after he hit the wall, I went over there and I picked my 3 little thorns up and I just walked away. And then, like, all the kids is just like they weren't even saying anything. Their mouths was just, wide the fuck open. And I'm dumb because, like, it really was like one of those shit. Like, y'all know how, like, the little tables be when we was in high school or whatever. It was like the same tables in middle school. You know, it got the little underneath part where you can put stuff inside of it or whatever. It's like the little box, little joint or whatever. I really picked that joint up and just slung it over there to him. Like, he really hit that wall. And so he was just laying there and when I got my stuff, and then the teacher came in as he was getting up, and the teacher's just like, bro, why are you not in your seat? And it's a lady or whatever, a little white lady or something like that. She's like, why are you not in your seat? And then I looked at him. And Brianna had just came back into class. But she knew I had did something to that boy. She was just like, what you do? And I'm just staring at him like, I want you to say something to this lady. Tell this lady I threw the desk at you. Because I'm going to tell her you threw a chair at me. And I know they're not equal. But I don't care. Because of why did you play with me like that? And so he just looked at me. And then he was just like, oh, I had fell out my chair. He got back up in the chair. And just sat there and didn't say nothing the whole rest of the class. We still had like an hour left in that class because you know when we was in elementary school, we would be in classes for like 3 hours straight and then go to another teacher. It'd be like that one teacher would be teaching us math and science type beat. So, yeah, bruh, that was hilarious. Like, it wasn't funny though. It wasn't funny. But I was just like, I really used to do wild stuff when I was little. And I would get away with it. I really would do the wildest stuff and I would get away with it. I did apologize to that boy. I did apologize to him. But then at the same time, once I apologized, he was just like, well, I threw the chair at you first. So like he rationalized it just like I did. Like we both was on the same page for real. That don't make it no better. But I don't think that like he was really hurt because he came to school the next day and the next day and the next day. I don't think he had no concussion or nothing. I think he was good for real. But like the worst part about that is that's not the only thing I did as a child. Like I have other stories of me just doing wild stuff as a child. I was violent. Like nobody in my adult life has ever been hit by me. Like I don't be hitting people unless I like accidentally hit them while I'm laughing. Like I really don't be hitting people. But when I was younger, assault. Like I don't know when I learned my lesson. I don't know when I decided to stop beating people the fuck up, but bro, 2nd grade was not the year. I can tell you that. I was still beating people the fuck up in 2nd grade. So yeah, y'all. There is no moral of the story. It's no moral of the story. Like, but low key it is. Don't hit people. I didn't learn the lesson that day though. I didn't learn that lesson that day. But still, don't hit people. You know, keep your hands to yourself. It's never okay to throw a table at somebody or a chair. It's never okay to throw a table or a chair at anybody, you know. Keep your hands to yourself. Keep objects to yourself, you know. If somebody takes something of yours, you don't gotta resort to violence. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I just wanted to let y'all know that that's what I did. That's what I did, but I was little. It was 2nd grade. You know, you can't really get arrested in 2nd grade. You just get in trouble. But I didn't get in trouble. But yeah, that's how I got. So yeah. short story, but for me, Storytime Tish, the tea is over. Peace and love.